Good afternoon. It is 12:04 p.m. here on Tuesday the 13th of July 2021. My name is Arran Hunt. I'm a partner here at the law firm Stace Hammond and I head up the immigration team here. As always, this is not legal advice, it's just our commentary on immigration here in New Zealand. If you're looking for legal advice, look at the description down below. You'll see our email address, send us an email. Today is just a relatively quick and short video. It's in relation to Amendment Circular 2021-25. Now, amendment circulars are provided to let immigration lawyers like ourselves and advisors know about changes to the operational manual. And of course, the operational manual is the rule book or the instructions that you'll hear immigration refer to that they need to apply when they're assessing a visa. This will basically sort of announce several changes, and today the main change is going to be for more details about the handling of the teacher exemptions and the partners of the teacher exemptions. So we're going to focus on those primarily and just do a couple of little small things along the way as well. Now, the change itself for the visa exceptions for the partners is coming under H52515. Now, H52515, you will have heard me say a number of times before if you've ever watched these, because that is the section where they hold most of the border exceptions. So critical health, other critical health worker partners, New Zealand citizens or who aren't from visa waiver countries, replacement cargo crew, marine crew, essential skilled worker visas who are cut offshore, these sorts of things are all in there. And M was added a few months ago, and that related to the partners of critical health workers or other critical workers who were offshore, and now they're adding a subpart to M, which is the partner or dependent child of a work visa or a critical purpose visitor visa holder who is in New Zealand, and that visitor visa's visa indicates they are employed as a full-time teacher in either early childhood education or a primary or secondary school. Now, a few points there to clarify, and that will be clarified actually further down when we look at H53055, which is all about partners and dependent children of a teacher. We're going to read through this because there's important factors in here. A person will be considered to have a critical purpose for travel to New Zealand if they meet the following requirements. They have to be outside of New Zealand, which of course makes sense. You're already in New Zealand, you don't require a border exception. And the person is the partner or dependent child of a temporary visa holder currently in New Zealand who holds a visa that specifies work as a teacher in early childhood education or primary or secondary schooling. Now, the important words there are first, that's a temporary visa holder, has to be the person, the teacher, which means that teachers who are residents and citizens do not fall under this. Your partners do not fall under this, very, very sadly. The other one is that the visa held specifies work as a teacher. Now, if you are on a post-study work visa, and this is the same for the other categories as well, you cannot apply for this, or your partner cannot apply for this because you do not have the word teacher on your visa. You need to go and look at getting a visa that holds, that is based around your employment. So it states the word teacher on there. That's simply going to be an essential skills work visa or a work to residence visa. And then the person who's coming from offshore can either be granted a visa that's appropriate to the situation, so it could be a partnership visa, it could be a student visa if it's a dependent, or a variation of conditions. If they already hold a visa but didn't have the border exception, they'll just vary the visa to allow the border exception. So that's how they're going to handle those applicants who have partners offshore and want to bring in their partners from offshore and their teachers here in New Zealand. Now, we did know that there was 300 in total being allowed under this. Now, looking at this in more clarity, it's clear that that 300 is only counting those who are still offshore. So teachers who are already in New Zealand want to bring their partners in, you aren't included in the 300, you are open to apply for this. The 300 allowance is the Ministry of Education can bring in 300 teachers who cover those areas. So those areas are that decile 1 to 3 schooling, or the ECEs who are in a deprivation area level 8 to 10. You'll notice that there was no requirement for the decile area or the deprivation area when you're bringing partners in. For those who are already onshore, this is only to do with bringing in new teachers from offshore, and they can bring their partners with them. Now, this power is in place until the 30th of June 2022. We don't expect, well, we would hope they wouldn't take effectively a year to bring those people in. I think it's just there so there's enough time for them to process these if required. But yeah, that is 1 year away. A couple of other quick small changes to in this circular. Up until now, if you've applied for an EOI and you've gained an invitation to apply, so a right to apply for a CPVV, you've been given 1 month to get the application actually submitted. That's been changed to 4 months. We're not quite sure why they've made that increase or that change. It was never hard for our clients to get that done within a month, but they've now got 4 months rather than 1. The other changes made here are based around the number of exceptions being provided. So there are some roles which do get border exception based on that role. So we've got an increase in the international fishing crew up to 160 every 6 months. Bit of an irony there with the current issues. Another 13 infection on that fishing boat today. Then there was an increase in replacement cargo crew over 12 months being up to 550. Now this increase than it was before. And previously we did note in an earlier video when they did bring in the partners for critical purpose allowance for those who are already in the country to bring their partners in, we noted they had actually done an error in the reference under H53040. That's now being corrected in this, several months later. And that is actually about it for the changes. This is a relatively short change. It does provide some clarity for those teachers who are on shore. I know there's one or two of you down in Wellington who will be happy about this. You can now bring your partners on. It should be a relatively easy process. Of course, those of you who are on a post-study work visa will need to look at going for the next step in your progress, which will be going to an essential skills or perhaps a work to residence. Those are the two most likely ones you're going to go for, just so you can get that word teacher on your visa and then bring your partners in if you, of course, meet the requirements for partners being a genuine and stable living together requirements that we've talked about so much in previous videos. If you're a resident and citizen, sorry, once again, the Minister has decided to completely ignore your rights to be with your partners, and it's an ongoing battle on that front. That is about it. Now, I did speak on the weekend at the March to Migrants up in Auckland at ATS Square, just a couple of days past. Thank you to Anu for letting me speak at that. I'll try and find a link somewhere to put in the description if you want to see me speak. It wasn't a prepared speech, so hopefully it came across okay. There is also coming up on the 3rd of August, there is another peaceful protest down at the Beehive. This is being arranged by the partners of New Zealand residents and citizens who are separated by this. We'll put a link through to the Facebook group there. There'll be more information over the next few weeks as to what's going on there, how that's going to work. I'll be down there for that, looking forward to that, hopefully creating some more vocal attention to hopefully get some more attention from government into making some better choices to help people out. But that is it for today. It's all we've got for you. We'll come back with when we do have more news. Until next time, kia kaha and stay safe.